6:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Dilini Gunawardena and read by Mario Vijayawardena. The headlines. A new institutional framework will be introduced to enhance Sri Lanka's industrial sector. The Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment is concerned over a surge in scams. The Indian Foreign Minister is to visit Sri Lanka tomorrow. A sister city project between the Municipal Council of Colombo and the Municipal Council of Rio de Janeiro initiated. David Seslan appointed as the World Bank's country director for Sri Lanka. In foreign news, Israel is ready for all-out war in Lebanon. In sports news, tennis, Alcaraz starts Queen's defense with a win. President Ranil Wickremesinghe announces the establishment of a new development bank aimed at providing financial support to industrialists in Sri Lanka. This initiative will offer industrialists the opportunity to obtain loans at low interest rates. Additionally, the President revealed plans to set up an economic commission to oversee these activities. A new institution, Enterprise Sri Lanka, will also be created to empower small and medium-sized entrepreneurs. President Wickremesinghe made these announcements during the inauguration of the International Industry Expo 2024, the first event of its kind in Sri Lanka. Organized by the Industrial Development Board under the guidance of the Ministry of Industry and with the support of Industries and Health Minister Dr. Ramesh Patirana, the exhibition will run from today until the 23rd of June at the Sirimavo Bandaranaike International Conference Hall. Over 1,000 international industrial entrepreneurs from various countries, along with local large and medium-scale industrialists, are participating at this event. The expo features 1,307 exhibition stalls, with the special inclusion of a separate green industrial zone for the first time. Additionally, an experimental academic conference on green industrialization will be held during the exhibition. The Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment, the SLBC, has raised concerns on the increasing number of scams reported to its Special Investigation Unit on overseas employment. Accordingly, plans are underway to expand the inquiries made by the Bureau. In addition to the head office in Battaramulla, scams relating to complaints can be lodged at the regional offices of the Bureau in Badulla, Ratnapura, Tangalla, Kurunegala and Mahanuwara. 21,000 or rather 2,155 complaints have been received so far during this year, out of which over 1,000 cases have been filed by the Bureau. The Bureau requests the public to provide any information on overseas employment scams to the Bureau at 0112 864 241. That's 0112 864 241. Sri Lanka and Brazil have held a discussion centered on the establishment of a sister city project between the Municipal Council of Colombo and the Municipal Council of Rio de Janeiro. Sri Lankan Ambassador Sumit Dasanayake has had a constructive discussion with the acting Vice President of the Permanent Committee on International Relations of the Municipal Council of Rio de Janeiro, Councillor Elcio Kessler, and other diplomats to foster relations at municipal council levels between Brazil and Sri Lanka. This discussion took place during the Sri Lankan Ambassador's official visit to Rio de Janeiro recently. Ambassador Dasanayake highlighted the areas of cooperation which could be further elevated between Sri Lanka and Brazil vis-à-vis trade, tourism and investments. He also invited Brazilian entrepreneurs and tourists to make use of the unique experiences and opportunities available to them in Sri Lanka. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. State Minister Sisira Jayakodi announces that the halted internship training for Ayurveda graduates, which was delayed due to the ongoing crisis, has recommenced. He highlighted that the internship program offers a monthly pay of 67,500 rupees, with the government allocating 320 million rupees for this initiative. The State Minister further stated that the ministry has achieved significant progress. Previously, due to various major issues, the internship training for graduates of Ayurveda from universities was delayed. However, internship training for 207 graduates of Ayurveda, Siddha and Unani medicine was commenced in early June with a monthly payment of 67,500 rupees. The World Bank has appointed David Seslan as a country director for Nepal, the Maldives and Sri Lanka. He will assume the responsibilities of country director for the Maldives and Sri Lanka from the World Bank's sub-regional office in Kathmandu. Before this appointment, Seslan served as a practice manager for urban and disaster risk management for Europe and Central Asia at the World Bank. He also has extensive experience addressing infrastructure, urban development and decentralized services delivery across Europe, Latin America, Africa, East Asia and the Pacific.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Veda Mahatmya.
The Minister of External Affairs of India, Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar, will be undertaking an official visit to Sri Lanka tomorrow. During this visit, Dr. Jaishankar is scheduled to pay courtesy calls on President Ranil Wickremesinghe and Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena. The visiting Indian External Affairs Minister and his delegation will also have a meeting with the Foreign Minister Ali Sabri at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Minister Jaishankar will be accompanied by senior officials of the Ministry of External Affairs of India.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Vedamahatmya.
And now in Watchlight, the Sri Lanka Railways has asked the people living on lands owned by the department to register online before the 15th of July in a move to legitimize them. All unauthorized occupants who do not register by that date will be removed from the railway premises. The users of land owned by the department and new applicants should register online at pms.railway.gov.lk. Addressing the gathering at the inauguration of the Assistant Commercial Superintendent's Office in Navalapitiya, Minister Dr. Bandhanu Gunawardena said squatters will be leased the land after an assessment.
Coming up, World News.
World News headlines. Israel is ready for all-out war in Lebanon. Red carpet for President Putin in lavish ceremony in Pyongyang. Cyril Ramaphosa is being sworn in for the second term. Israel says that it is ready for an all-out war in Lebanon and has plans approved for an offensive targeting Hezbollah. This statement followed Hezbollah's release of threatening drone footage, which showed Israeli port city of Haifa filmed in daytime, including malls and residential quarters, in addition to a weapon manufacturing complex and missile defense batteries. Israel's foreign minister said Israel is very close to change the rules against Hezbollah and Lebanon, adding Hezbollah will be destroyed and Lebanon will be severely hit. The climbing tension conflicts with the United States, efforts to avert an escalation amid months of low-level hostilities between the Israel-Lebanon border. A lavish ceremony has taken place in Pyongyang's main square to welcome Russian President Vladimir Putin to North Korea. President Putin received a red carpet welcome including roses, waving crowds and ceremonial gunfire at a grand military parade. The Russian president thanked the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un for inviting him to Pyongyang in his first official visit to the country since 2000. Footage released by state media shows tens of thousands of people lining the cleared avenues of the capital center as the leader's motorcade weave through. The state news agency said the pair discussed deepening ties between their countries after Mr. Putin's arrival overnight. South Africa's Cyril Ramaphosa is being sworn in for a second term in office as president despite failing to secure a majority in parliament for his African National Congress, the ANC, in last month's election. Lawmakers re-elected him to stay on as president last week following a deal to form a coalition government between the ANC, its long-time rival Democratic Alliance and other parties. The ANC, which has governed since the end of apartheid in 1994, lost its majority for the first time after the 29th of May election produced no outright winner. And now the main points of the World News segment. Israel is ready for all-out war in Lebanon. Red carpet for President Putin in lavish ceremony in Pyongyang. Cyril Ramaphosa is being sworn in for the second term.
Development News.
The Sri Lanka-Australia Chamber of Commerce and the Chartered Accountant Association of Sri Lanka, with the collaboration of the High Commission of Sri Lanka in Canberra, organised a business forum, Resilient and Rising, Leveraging Sri Lanka's Potential, in Brisbane recently. The event aimed to bring together Australian business leaders, entrepreneurs and investors to explore and capitalise opportunities in Sri Lanka, focusing on economic resilience, investment prospects and strategic growth initiatives. The audience included select and reputed representatives from Australian companies, Sri Lankan business companies in Brisbane, and over 175 Sri Lankan and foreign companies who joined from overseas virtually.
Moving on with sports news.
Carlos Alcaraz continued where he left off on the British grass by starting his Queen's title defence with a straight-set victory over Argentina's Francisco Cerundolo. He won 6-1, 7-5 in his first match on grass since lifting the Wimbledon title last year. Alcaraz won the third major of his career on the French Open clay earlier this month before switching back to the surface, where he has played the least. He will play new British number 1 Jack Draper in the second round.
Go ekak tiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB I Am, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Nain Hotels has been recognized as the National Sustainable Tourism Certification Scheme for its outstanding sustainability initiatives. This prestigious certification acknowledges Nain Hotels' commitment to promoting sustainable practices within the tourism industry. Several Nain Hotels properties have been commended for their holistic approach to sustainability for excellence in environmental conservation, waste management and community support.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go එකක් තියන youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු හින හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru account. NSB I Am, a plan for your dream.
And now in economic news, a seminar on the economic impact of free trade agreements conducted recently by the Organization of Professional Associations revealed that while free trade agreements offered many advantages to Sri Lanka, the country's economy needed to become more export-oriented in order to fully enjoy these benefits. The event was organized by the National Issues Committee and the Construction Industry Committee of the organization.
Weather report.
Showers will occur at times in the western Sabaragamu and northwestern provinces and in the Mahanuwara, Nuwara Eliya, Gala and Matara districts. Fairly heavy showers above 75 millimeters are likely at some places in the western and Sabaragamu provinces. Showers or thundershowers may occur at a few places in the Uva province and in the Ampara and Madakalapur districts in the evening or night. Strong winds of about 40 to 50 kilometers per hour can be expected at times over the western slopes of the central hills, the north and north central and northwestern provinces and in the Trikunamalaya, Hambantota and Mondragala districts. That was the report, and now the headlines of this news broadcast. A new institutional framework will be introduced to enhance Sri Lanka's industrial sector. The Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment is concerned over a surge in scams. The Indian Foreign Minister is to visit Sri Lanka tomorrow. A sister city project between the Municipal Council of Colombo and the Municipal Council of Rio de Janeiro initiated. David Seston is appointed as the World Bank's country director for Sri Lanka. In foreign news, Israel is ready for all-out war in Lebanon. In sports news, tennis, Alcaraz starts Queen's defence with a win. That concludes this news broadcast. You're with Radio Sri Lanka, and now it's back to Ramesh Piris on the other side to keep you in great company this Wednesday evening. Over to you, Ramesh.